that is one spectacular view. We're on the balcony of the Capitol Club in downtown San Jose. And let me tell you something. If you are looking for a thriving art scene, great restaurants and year-round festivals, and you want everything within walking distance of your front door, downtown is the place to be. After years of revitalizing the area and building high-rise housing, it's really become the creative urban center for the entire region. We're going to meet some of the locals who've made the move and are loving it. Chuck and Randy have just recently moved to the Park Townsend building here in downtown. I went to talk to them to find out why they chose San Jose as their new home.
Downtown was really having a resurgence, and we kind of felt like we wanted to be a part of it.
So I'm your crazy cousin from Wisconsin looking to party in downtown. I mean, what are some of the hot spots? Where do you guys like to go?
Well, I mean, we tend to, veer towards more going out to dinner and stuff like that. So, definitely going to places like the Grill and Paragon and the Loft. I hear San Pedro Square is kind of a hot little spot. Is that true? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's just about a block away. And during the summer, they actually have movie nights. Instead of drive-in, you bring your lawn chairs. They close the street.
Chuck, you're a runner. You want the wide open spaces when you're running. Did you have any hesitation when you came downtown? Or has it turned out to be what you were hoping it would be?
Absolutely. I like running through the Guadalupe River Park. I also just like running through the neighborhoods and checking out the Rose Garden or, out towards San Jose State.
Speaking of San Jose State, that's where I was headed next to meet with Laura and her husband, Jason.
What do you guys love for you guys about being part of this downtown?
I love that you don't have to get in your car at the end of the day and spend an hour on the freeway and then lock yourself in your home at night.
The couple took me across the street on Paseo de San Antonio to show me some of the places they enjoy.
I mean, you gotta love a place with a name like Hogs. I mean, that's my kind of dining. So what about this place? I mean, why do you guys like coming?
Great happy hour.
Good happy hour.
Critical on anyone's agenda.
Right. Great fish and chips and great chowder also.
Oh, yeah.
I was curious about a particular term I kept hearing all day, and I figured Laura and Jason would know the answer.
I've heard this term thrown out, progressive dinners. Is that like culinary bar hopping or something?
That's a good term for it. Well, we're so lucky that we have so many fabulous restaurants all in this very walkable area. So instead of going and having a big heavy meal, especially if we're going to a play, we like to go to a place, have a glass of wine, an appetizer, go to another appetizer, finish off with dessert somewhere.
And you can walk to all these places.
Absolutely.
And take public transportation. We also like to do a lot of shopping at the museum shops down here. The Tech Museum has a great store, especially for kids.
Right
that's
over in that direction.
the big orange block, the big mango block.
Just window shopping, sir?
Just window shopping.
Excellent. Beautiful weather, huh? All right.
One of the really cool things about downtown San Jose is they have these guys on Segways. I got to find out what this is about. Hey, man, what's your name?
Hey, I'm Kevin.
Kevin, I'm Paul.
Nice to meet you.
Dude, you're on a Segway.
Uh-huh.
What's going on here? What are you guys doing?
Our company's called Groundworks. So what we're trying to do is provide a safe and clean environment for downtown area. And we have two facets to the company. One is the clean team and one is the safe team. Clean team basically is what their responsibilities and jobs are, is to maintain the cleanliness of the sidewalks, janitorial, custodial duties. We also have the safe team. They're a walking concierge service with a wealth of knowledge and information to give out to the public.
So you have maps and things like that, and people come up to you and say, hey man, where do I find the Tech Museum, or where do I find HP?
And we'll be able to point them in the exact direction.
I continued on to downtown's Sofa District, also known as South First Area. There's a popular monthly event that takes place here named First Fridays, during which several venues host art receptions, and Anno Domini is one of the participating galleries.
This idea of a sort of a gallery crawl is really cool. I mean, is it open to the public? Is it invite only? How does that part of it work?
It's completely open to the public. We hope friends bring friends, and then it becomes their experience and their evening and their exhibit even in a lot of ways.
And there's no charge, right? It's absolutely.
It's all free.
It's free.
It's everything from contemporary art to project spaces to street art, performances. We have live music at a lot of the venues, and it's just really unpretentious and really casual and friendly.
I left the Sofa District and went to speak with Jan Schneider. She owns a business in downtown and lives just a few blocks from her office.
Tell me about the historic district. That's where your business is.
That's where my business is. My business is in the old Bank of Italy building, and I've been there actually for 30 years, so it took me a while to make the move downtown. I didn't know that I cared that much about historic buildings, but seeing like the California Theater be refurbished and reopened, and then seeing the Security Building and the Letitia Building on First Street, and now the Wilcox Building, seeing all of those come back and having my business in an historic building, it's just wonderful to see the downtown revive.
Speaking of history, I met up with Max, a longtime resident of San Jose, who shared some historical facts about Hotel Montgomery.
You know, Max, I think a lot of people think of San Jose and Silicon Valley and new and cutting edge and all that stuff, but there's a lot of history here, like this building, the Hotel Montgomery, right?
Yes, I think it's a perfect example. This building originally opened in 1911 as the Montgomery Hotel, and it was a business class hotel, and originally it sat in this spot right over here where the Fairmont Hotel is.
So, I mean, they didn't tear down the old one and build it here. They picked it up and moved it.
Picked it up and slid it right along, 186 feet at a cost of about $12 million.
Tell me about some of the positives that you've seen with this new Renaissance renovation. What are the things that you like that you've seen?
I like that we are maintaining some of our older buildings. It brings an identity to the downtown and an interesting architectural style.
We're talking about that old and new kind of coming together, and this tile you said was
original from 1911.
And then yet you have this modern artwork that's hanging on the wall. So 1911, I mean, that's back when the Titanic was...
Yeah, Edwardian era. And this room up here, the ladies' writing salon, I think is a really nice example of Edwardian architecture. Lower ceilings, exposed beams up there, and it almost feels like a room that could have been on the Titanic. Women would go away from the men so the men could smoke and swear and drink, and women would be up here
the good old days.
Reading and writing. Yes, exactly.
That's funny.
Now, as you've just seen, there are plenty of reasons why downtown San Jose is an exciting place to live.